we might all have the same answer for this. Tyler said it before the show. When you look at the stretch that is the hardest for the Pittsburgh Steelers, what stands out for you?
Besides week 1 through 18.
Yeah.
I was actually going to ask before what we considered a stretch, like how many games is a stretch.
Not 18.
Yeah, well, I have it at 4. Week 15 through 18 is going to be hell.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that and that stretch, what's the record? 47-17, I believe, are those games are those teams from 2020. Yeah.
Yeah. I have to agree. I would say if we're trying to figure out what a stretch is, I would say probably about a month, and that is a month worth of games right there. In those 4. That is going to be, I mean, that's a gauntlet. But like I said, when you look at what the Steelers schedule as a whole is going into the season, and again, things are probably going to change. Like, we're going to have injuries. These teams are going to have injuries. These teams on paper aren't going to look the exact same way. And the strength of schedule right now isn't going to mean a whole lot probably once the season starts and we get to that portion of the schedule, especially at the back end of it. But like on paper, as we sit here today, man, if they come out of that like 2-2, I am going to be absolutely thrilled, because that is a ridiculous way to end your season. Again, that was actually one of the conflicts that we had with the schedule that we put out. We thought we were getting Cincinnati there instead of KC, and KC a little bit earlier, so that would have made it not as challenging, I guess, towards the end of the season, even though Cincinnati, I want to give them credit, they are a team on the rise. But Kansas City on the road, thrown in there with Tennessee, with Baltimore, with Cleveland. I mean,
you could even look the game before. I mean, Thursday night in Minnesota is not going to be easy, no matter what
and it's Baltimore before that. So.
And it's Baltimore before that. I mean, you can go the whole schedule. I mean, at that point, you're playing in Cincinnati, and I don't care what anybody says. If Joe Burrow's healthy, he's going to be a good quarterback by the end of the year, and that team is going to be pretty – I mean, the offense at least is going to be pretty good. But you can even look at the middle of the week, right, or the middle of the schedule, right before the bye. I mean, you go at Cincy, whatever, but at Green Bay, you come home against Denver, who the Steelers struggled against in 2020. You're going to play Seattle on Sunday night, and then you go into the bye and you come out of the bye playing Cleveland and possibly hosting Justin Fields on Monday night. I mean, there really is not a part of this schedule that's easy for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So let me ask you, what is the easiest stretch for the Pittsburgh Steelers? Where can we expect some wins?
So only because they do have their bye in there at week 7, and I'm not saying at Cleveland on Halloween is easy, but I would say that I look at like that area of the schedule to maybe be the easiest part of it. When you look at Chicago after that, which again, I do think Justin Fields is going to be a great player, but that's still going to be, even if he starts the season, that's going to be his 9th career start. Like, it will be a very young quarterback in this league. And then you have Detroit going to LA, but at the same time, that's essentially a home game. I mean, they might as well put it on the schedule that way. I understand the Chargers are getting better, but the Steelers fans are still going to overtake that place when it comes down to it. So that's going to be a home game. I do believe in Justin Herbert, but I don't think that they're there yet. They probably will have Derwin James back and healthy this year. I think that was a huge loss for them last year. The defense should be a little bit better. I still think that they're no better than the second team in that division. And then you mentioned, the Steelers, especially last year, we know what happened when we went to Cincinnati. But I mean, when you look at like the schedule being the way that it is,
the Bengals are still by far.
By far. Game still has to be the one that you're looking at. Like, if there is an easy part of the schedule, it's in that month's worth of games.
Yeah, I agree. Tyler, what are your thoughts?
That's honestly my same. Basically, the month of November. Because, and if Andy Dalton's still the quarterback for the Bears, that I feel like that makes it even easier. So hopefully that's the case. And then you got the Lions, Chargers, and Bengals. I feel like that has to be the easiest stretch. The other one that I was kind of debating was looking at the Raiders, Bengals, Packers, Broncos, but the Packers in there, that's kind of like the outlier of the other games. But I think the other 3 you can look at as, okay, those are going to be favored for the Steelers.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's say, before Noah chimes in here, I just want to say that Rodgers does get traded, and even though the favorite would be Denver, like I don't know where he would go if it's not there, but say he were to get traded and it's not Denver, who we play the following week after Green Bay, then that would change to probably be my easiest stretch of the schedule. Yeah,
no doubt. At that point, you're playing Blake Bortles, maybe Jordan Love if you're lucky. I don't know, but that's a very easy stretch. I agree. I think that even with Green Bay in there, for one, Green Bay is a team that is just like the Steelers. They're either real slow at the beginning of the year or real slow at the end. Usually it's the beginning. We have no idea what's going to go on with Aaron Rodgers. I would say there's a 50% chance he's their quarterback this season. And everything around it, I mean, you gain enough momentum playing Cincy and the Raiders. You go in there and beat the Packers. You come home. You have the potential to go into the bye on a 5-game winning streak, which is huge.